Well, we just had Thanksgiving, but I am still thankful because I've got my girl out here, November. It's warm enough to give her a bath today. So I'm still thinking about Thanksgiving, but also thinking about Christmas. I've got a few things on my Christmas list, and I know that I'm supposed to be thinking about other people, and I am, and I will. But I'm thinking about me a little bit too. And I've got a few things on my list. And so basically, let me start by saying what I'm thankful for. This year, I got this bike that I'm now calling Penny. And I got a few options on it because I bought it used. And so I have these wind reflectors. I'm thankful for those. I was gonna add that anyway. An oil cooler that doesn't come standard on the bike. Whoa, let's see if I can point that out. Thankful for that too. So someone's Christmas last year is my Thanksgiving this year. What was the other? Oh yes, let me walk around the bike here. The other thing I'm glad for is the heel shifter. I'm quite fond of the heel shifter, except there's only one thing about it, and that is that the Indian heel shifter is a little short. If you notice that right there, and this isn't a real review here, but it doesn't go all the way back to the floorboard. I have size 12 shoes, and so I put my heel right up against it, and it's okay. But I think that some other brands sell some that are, I think it's Kiriakin, that actually comes back here. On some other reviews, I'm told that that'll actually get in the way of quickly putting the stand down. I don't know. That's something I noticed about the Indians version. So if anyone's considering that, that might be a thought. But anyway, get off topic pretty easily. So those are the things that were added. And the bike itself, I'm thankful for. These things that were added, that were not stock, I'm thankful for. But now as for my list. Okay, so I've got a list. And that is that I'm planning to ride long distances and do some moto camping in the springtime. And I'm gonna need something for this here. I don't ride two up. No one really wants to do that with me or can't do it with me. So this is on my mind. And I've got a specific idea, and I've looked a little bit. I'm not totally sold on it yet, but I am thinking about this. I'll try to post the specific model maybe if anyone's interested. But the Kiriakin multi-purpose driver and passenger backrest. The cool thing about that is it actually has a little rack with it as well, so I can put, if I have a passenger, I can put it back. If I'm just driving, I can put it forward and actually make use of it either way. I'm not likely going to use it as a passenger backrest, but in the event that I do get out and have a big bag, I can actually put it in the back position, put a bag in front of it, and then lean back, and that can be my backrest on longer trips. So that's what I have in my mind. If any of you have that experience with that particular piece or maybe another, let me know before Santa comes visiting, because that's what I'm thinking about. All right. The other thing is, I might fancy a tune. This one's getting 35 miles to the gallon, and I keep seeing on reviews and other comments that people are getting between 42 and as much as 47 or even 49 miles to the gallon. Now this is a 2017 model, but I'm not getting that. So maybe I need to do something about that, get a flash or something, because that's nowhere near what I'm getting. So maybe someone did a tune and flashed it and it's not the right one. But I mean, I haven't noticed any problems with power or throttle response or anything, but for whatever reason, I'm just not getting as good as some. So maybe a stage 1 air intake and exhaust, but I'm struggling with that decision because the exhaust, I actually like the sound of the bike. I don't need it to sound a particular way. I don't need it to sound like a Harley, and I don't need it to be particularly loud. I have a little bit of a tinnitus problem for lots of years of interest in music and rock and roll or whatever. So I have a little ringing in my ears anyway. I don't need to add to that. But the heat that comes off the catalytic converter that I talked about in my review, I don't have the rear cylinder deactivation that they have on the new models. So mine gets a little bit hotter than some of the old ones. Mine gets hotter than the new ones do. I've not had the experience of riding long distance or in heat or in traffic with the new ones, so I can't really speak to it, but I know it does get hot, and if performing a decat would help that, it might be worth the trade-off with the noise. I can always get maybe some better plugs or something. Let me think. Oh yeah, some other things that would have interest to me that I guess I'll ask you about if you've had any interest, not interest, but comments on, if you've listened to reviews or maybe had some experience. I'm thinking about maybe even a low profile trunk back here. You know, you can build it up and do that. But downside to that, there's always a pro and con to any of that stuff, I guess. But the downside to it is that I don't have really any other room for anything else. I'm thinking sleeping bags and tents and all that. I mean, low profile is about the biggest I'd want to go, I think. And it may not be the look I'm looking for either. So I gotta think about that one. But there's one final thing that might be on my Christmas list. It's a big ask though. And so I don't know, I'll have to really think about that one. And that is a motorcycle trailer. Now I'm not thinking about a cargo as much as one that I can sleep in. But the ones that I've seen are pretty heavy, so I don't want to drag something real heavy across the country. But the idea of stopping when I want to stop, with or without reservations, really kind of appeals to me. If I want to stop at a truck stop and just jump in the back, there's some advantage to that without having to pitch a tent and find a spot that someone's willing to allow me to set up camp in, especially if it's just an overnight thing. There is a group that allows for that. I'm just in an unfortunate situation. I'd love to participate in that and be able to house other bikers, but I just don't have the room. I don't have a guest space, and I have a house full of kids and all that, so it just doesn't, no one's gonna wanna be with us. Nevertheless, that's where we are. So I'm thinking about that trailer. Maybe some of you have that idea of how to deal with it. So sorry for this shaky camera business. I was trying to get my Hero up and working, but it just couldn't connect. I'll probably just go ahead and give her a bath, and if I have any more comments, I'll take them with the GoPro. All right, for now I'll sign off.